All right, Giants Nation. So when I found out that Dart was starting against the Chargers, I said to myself that he should be starting against the Saints. Now, I will say that at the time, Malik Neighbors was healthy. But even after Malik Neighbors was not healthy, at no point did I think that we were going to go into this game and lose to the Saints. I thought maybe the game would be close because we don't have Malik Neighbors. But yeah, and the early parts of the game did not make me feel like that wasn't going to be the case because we scored the touchdowns so quick. So it all went to shit when Darius Slayton fumbled the ball, in my personal opinion. Now, you guys probably saw some of the flaws before that, and I probably did too, but I'm just locked into Darius Slayton. I don't know why Darius Slayton's on this team. And honestly, this wide receiver room is one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the NFL. But it's always been like that. And it's just, we have Malik Neighbors, so we forgot about it last year. But it's still bad outside of Malik Neighbors. Wandell is a nice little slot receiver, but sometimes he reminds us that he's just a tiny wide receiver when he can't jump up and catch some of these crucial passes in the clutch. So, I've been looking at a lot of the Giants fans reply. I wanted to see how everybody was reacting to it. So all over the place, I went to Reddit, I went to Facebook. I'm in like 4 different groups. First post I want to talk about is from Reddit. So during the game, this is exactly what I was saying to myself. Like, man, this is really our wide receiver room without Malik Neighbors. Like, I looked this guy up, and in college, I think the most yards he had in his 4 years in college was maybe 600 yards. Like, this is not somebody who should be starting for us. I don't even know if he did start. It could have been the bum Hyatt. Hyatt had a pass where I felt like he just didn't even fight for the ball. Like, whenever Hyatt is in a one-on-one matchup and any quarterback throws him the ball in the regular season, because I guess preseason is different, this man does not fight for the ball at all. He just basically looks lost out there. Gunner, I can't be mad at Gunner. He has a job which is punt returns, but then I think I saw the freaking cornerback that we no longer like in doing punt returns. So I don't really know what's the point of Gunner. I thought his whole job was to do punt returns, but then Banks is doing punt returns. So I don't know. This wide receiver room is terrible. I'm not even, if Wandell were to go to another team, I wouldn't be sad. Like, Wandell is probably the best wide receiver here. It's supposed to be Darius Slayton. You were hoping it would be Jalen Hyatt. You would hope that he would develop and he'd be great. They had gave us fake hope with him and Russell. Russell saying that he looks good, and obviously things didn't work out. Russell, and he's no longer the starter. But yeah, he gets some PT because Malik Neighbors is injured, and he just looks terrible. And then this guy Darius Slayton is the veteran, and he is fumbling the football. He's fumbling the football and he's dropping the football like he usually does. Slayton has always been known to drop the football, usually later in the games, but this game he just I don't know what it was. I mean, when I watched the tape, I'm like, I don't think the DB did anything crazy. I feel like Malik Neighbors would have caught that pass, just like the one that Jalen Hyatt should have caught that was like 30 yards. Malik Neighbors would have caught that. He would have fought for the ball, and we just don't have wide receivers that will fight for the ball. I will say that from preseason, I like little Jordan Humphrey, who is not little. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He needs to be promoted. This guy needs to be demoted to practice squad. Shit, demote Hyatt, which I figure they won't do that because they drafted Hyatt, so they're going to keep giving him chances. But they need to demote this guy, Collins, right here. I see people talking about he needs to get more of a shot. No, demote him and promote little Jordan Humphreys. That's who I like. Obviously, that's not going to solve all of the Giants' problems. We probably should trade for a wide receiver. I'm not too familiar with the football cap. It's much NBA cap is much easier to follow. Football cap, I don't do all the capalytics and all that stupid shit. Somebody else can figure that shit out. But if the Giants could trade Russell Wilson and get a wide receiver that makes sense, obviously you're not getting a wide receiver for Russell Wilson, wide receiver one, but somebody that makes sense outside of these guys. These guys are not good, including Darius Slayton. I'm very disappointed in Darius Slayton. And Wandell he's just small. Like, it's just going to be certain passes he's not going to be able to catch because he is small. So I can't even get mad at Wandell because he is who he is. He's supposed to be fast and shifty, and he got hurt because shit, I'm pretty sure he got hurt at MetLife if I remember correctly. But yeah, you guys are definitely firing off on the Giants because everybody's upset about this loss. So let's go over to Facebook. So the first crazy post I'm seeing in one of these groups is from this guy Vinci, and he says, "My fellow Giants fans, one thing we can all agree on is the fact that Jackson Dart cannot dart the ball downfield. And I disagree. I've been seeing a lot of Jackson Dart slander over this one game. And even the first game where people are saying that he didn't throw that much yards, but I'm like, you have to look at our wide receiver room. This is not a good wide receiver room. Like Wandell is the only reliable wide receiver. I don't trust Jalen Hyatt. I don't trust Darius Slayton, and I feel like I wouldn't be shocked if that's the way that Jackson Dart feels. They're not good wide receivers. They were not good wide receivers when Daniel Jones were here. A lot of you guys didn't like Daniel Jones, so when people told you that those wide receivers were not good, you blame Daniel Jones. But realistically, those wide receivers are ass. Jalen Hyatt is a bust. He needs to change his jersey number. He's a disrespecting the number 13 because he does not fight for the ball. He doesn't look for the ball. He's terrible. Darius Slayton, for a veteran to be fumbling the ball like that and ruining the game, it is crazy to me. He fumbles, then all of a sudden the rookie quarterback is fumbling and the running back is fumbling. It's contagious now. I blame Darius Slayton. Like, he needs to just leave this team and go play for the Colts. And, you know, go have a great career with the Colts, because apparently that's what everybody's doing now. They're leaving the Giants and they're having a great career elsewhere. But at this point, man, you know, next year, you're not expecting Brian Dable back. You're expecting to have Jackson Dart with a new system, maybe even another, you know, nice upcoming wide receiver, and hopefully 90% Malik Neighbors. Because with that injury, because I think he also tore a part of his shoulder, if I'm not mistaken, he's not going to ever be the Malik Neighbors that he was before. He'll still be good, but it might take him a while to get back to that level. But we can't just be disrespecting Jackson Dart and not acknowledging that the wide receiver room is terrible. Like, I don't know what y'all want him to do with Darius Slayton and Hyatt. They can't catch. So that's why we need to promote little Jordan Humphries, because he actually had chemistry with him in preseason. So a lot of people want to be early on whether somebody is the right guy for the job. And honestly, does it really matter? Because at the end of the day, it's really up to the owner, right? And the GMs that come in. So you saw the situation with Daniel Jones already. A lot of people were saying that they didn't think Daniel Jones was the quarterback for the Giants. However, he spent a long time here, and we could be running into the same situation again. And I said that from when we drafted Jackson Dart. And it's not because I don't like Jackson Dart. I just didn't like the system that he came from. So with that said, you know, he can always grow as a quarterback, but now you have to learn Brian Dable's system, and then you have to learn a new coach's system next year, because who thinks that Brian Dable is going to be here? So that's not really a good sign for Jackson Dart, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm 100% sure that Jackson Dart won't be here long term. It's really up to the Giants. I mean, you saw how long they kept Daniel Jones. Don't be surprised if, like, they do the same thing with Jackson Dart and he's here for 6 years. Like, I would not be surprised. We are the Giants. But a lot of you guys don't like Jackson Dart. I know some of you guys wanted Shador. For me, I didn't really care who we drafted, because I wanted Cam Ward. Like, if I had a pick of quarterback that I wanted, it would have been Cam Ward. I didn't really care for Shador, but if they were interested in Shador, I was like, all right, go ahead and get him. Top 2 quarterbacks at the time. I mean, a lot of people say Jackson Dart was always QB2 for them, but for the experts, they said he was QB3. That doesn't mean anything, though. You get into the league and you work hard and you become the QB1 in your draft class because you work hard. Doesn't matter who was number 1 from Mel Kiper and all of these 1,000, you know, NFL experts. Like, that shit don't matter. You gotta get into NFL and play the games in front of you. But I don't think this guy's right in saying this. I just think everybody just wants to be right about somebody not working out. They want to be early to that. Now, this post right here is probably the most hilarious post. He says, I'm starting to think that Daniel Jones is not the problem. I mean, Malik Neighbors told you last year when he was chewing the bubblegum all loud. Everybody was laughing. They said Malik Neighbors was chewing the hell out of the bubblegum. He said it last year. He said it straight up. He said, look, the quarterback ain't the problem. And, you know, I think people who don't like Brian Dable would probably say he was basically hinting at Brian Dable being the problem. And I'm just not really impressed with Brian and Kafka's play calling. Like, the flea flicker that we threw today, we did that shit with Daniel Jones. Like, we did that shit last year. It was the same plays from last year. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all experts might see something different with how he's you know, calling the plays for Jackson Dart, but I'm seeing the same shit he did with Daniel Jones. I mean, you got another running quarterback, but you know, the flea flicker, we've done that before. But yeah, we have to have receivers that are reliable, have reliable hands. You can do that flea flicker with Malik Neighbors because he is the man. He can go up and get that ball. I mean, I seen this man turn an interception into damn near a touchdown when we played the Cleveland Browns. The other wide receivers can't do that. I do have faith in Lil Jordan Humphreys though. I know that he's a journeyman, and a lot of people are probably laughing at me for even wanting Lil Jordan Humphreys promoted, but I like what I saw in preseason, and I love big wide receivers. I've always been a fan of like 6'4", 6'5", 6'3" wide receivers. All the tiny wide receiver shit that the Giants have been doing, I don't like it. Even though Malik Neighbors and Odell, my top two favorite wide receivers, are tiny, I want us to have a big receiver that actually works out, unlike Kenny Galladay. Might as well call him Kelly Galladay, but yeah, unlike Kenny Galladay, I want one of the big wide receivers to work out for us, man. And I think at this point, the quickest thing we can do is promote Little Jordan Humphreys, because this wide receiver room is ass, man. Man, Darius Slayton pissed me off. But yeah, funny seeing Daniel Jones come up here and somebody saying Daniel Jones not a problem. And when you look through the media of the group, you can see somebody posted Daniel Jones' stats, because Daniel Jones is 4-1 and 2 touchdowns, 200 plus yards. Good for you, Danny. Now this person says Dart and Scat only get a pass for their turnovers because they're rookies. Slayton and them damn DBs, they can go straight to hell. And I agree. Like, a lot of the defense was terrible today. There was a point in the game, it was getting late in the game, and they said the Giants did not get a sack today. Like, the Giants defense was not on point today. So yeah, Jackson Dart and Cam low-key did lose us the game, but they're rookies. You got it. You can't be mad at rookies for doing rookie shit. I mean, the ball slipped out of Dart's hand, which is crazy. I don't foresee that happening to him ever again, hopefully. Cam got the ball punched out. That happens to the best running backs in the league. That's not something that's like impossible to happen, but he was saying his gloves was not sticky enough or whatever. What the fuck happened with his glove? But he got new gloves. I still have faith in Dart and Scatable, because they're rookies and they're gonna make mistakes. So I forgive them for their mistakes, and they're hard on themselves, and they're blaming themselves for the loss, and that is totally fine because they are to blame. But they're rookies. But the defense, that DC need to be fired, man. Shane is terrible. He's a terrible DC. I prefer Wink, and I still remember people were complaining about Wink, but Wink was he was blitzing a lot if I'm not mistaken. I think the Giants were like top 5 in blitz. Like, he was trying to get after the quarterback. But it just took a while for it to translate to turnovers. But I prefer Wink over Shane. Shane is ass. He needs to go. The offensive coordinator needs to go. Obviously, Brian Daboll's going to end up going, and Joe's going to go too. You're bringing a whole new guy, GM, coach, everything new. Because these guys, they suck. Now, we could go on to win 1 or 2 or 3 more, games for the year. But, winning 4 games for the season is still, like, you're getting fired. Like, doesn't matter how many games they win at this point. They're getting fired. I don't see them being back here next year. But, yeah, the defense just looks terrible. I think Drew Phillips got hurt at a certain point, and then Banks had to come in, and we was just giving everything up, man. They were just taking what they want. I know they're playing at home, but come on now. This defense got to be better. But, yeah, man. Ugh. What a horrible day. All right, so we're going to go one more post from this group. Maybe I'll make multiple parts to the reaction to this loss, because, y'all are going to be saying a lot of things over the next few days. I still haven't visited some of the Giants websites, some of the forums that they have for the Giants. I'm sure there's going to be more good posts from Reddit. But this one right here to me is hilarious. All right, so the funny part of this post right here is he's basically saying that, we need to go out and, go sign an undrafted wide receiver. And everybody on this list is okay, except for Kadarius Toney. How dare you put this motherfucker Kadarius Toney on the fucking list? I hate Kadarius Toney. Like, I won't hate Jalen Hyatt, when we move past Jalen Hyatt. He will just go in the Evan Ingram's category of like, man, I wished it worked out, but it didn't work out. But this guy right here, Kadarius Toney, is terrible. Why would you even put this man on the list? But yeah, I guess it goes from bad to worse. Because yeah, I would love to have Amari Cooper if he wants to retire. I thought he retired. I would have retired too if I was playing for the Raiders. But yeah, Amari Cooper is not a bad idea. Odell Beckham, that's my favorite wide receiver all time. For some of you guys, it might be somebody else, but for me, it's Odell for sure. Robert Woods is okay. Nelson Aguilar, you know, the journeyman, he's okay. Tyler's probably washed at this point. Isn't Tyler Boyd like, how old is Tyler Boyd? Tyler Boyd is probably like in his 30s, man. I mean, Odell getting up there too, but it's Odell, like, you know, but Tyler, oh, he's 30 years old. He's not that old, but yeah, I don't know. I guess the list gets worse as you go down. Yeah, this list gets worse as you go down, man. You know, Michael Gallup is a hell nah for me. I'm pretty sure he got injured. DJ Chalk, I remember he was always injury prone. So pretty much I would stop the list at Nelson Aguilar. So these four right here, that's okay. These four are okay. This motherfucker right here, he needs to delete this guy off of the post. Like, this is crazy. Kadarius Toney? Hell no. But then again, just promote little Jordan Humphreys. I'm not saying he's gonna fix all of our problems, but you know, at least seem like Dart has some chemistry with him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe y'all saw something else in preseason, because I saw somebody else name a wide receiver that the Giants cut. But what do you guys think about this loss against the Saints? Did you go into the game thinking that we were going to win? And what do you think about the different posts? Did any of these posts actually make sense to you, or are you like, oh, I agree with, you know, this post? Comment down below what you think.